are going to come in, and feel free to support and cheer them on as they come in and as we get our program started. Welcome, welcome. Yes. Yes, excellent. Woo! Welcome. Thanks. Welcome. Excellent. Thank you for joining us. We're so excited. So good afternoon. My name is Lindy Wagner, and I'm the Assistant Vice Chancellor for Inclusive Excellence Education and Development here at SIUE. Many partners have helped this graduation celebration come to fruition over the years, and I want to today acknowledge that and say thank you for the effort and support. So those thanks go to the Kimmel Student Involvement Center, who originally started this, as well as the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, because that is where our graduation celebrations begin, was in those areas. I would also like to say thank you to the staff of the Inclusive Excellence Education and Development Hub, who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that we have this event for all of our graduates today. So again, thank you all. Now, it is truly an honor to welcome you to our 8th Latinx graduation celebration, which we celebrate semi-annually. And we're grateful to honor our Hispanic and our Latina and Latinx students here at SIUE. I look to you students and say that we're honored that you've chosen to celebrate your accomplishments with us today. We know that the pandemic continues to rage on, that your college experience has been unpredictable, and that also you've endured all the regular things that also happen during your college experience. But throughout all of that, you've reached this pivotal moment. You've persisted to graduation, and we want to be sure you're absolutely recognized for such dedication. You'll be celebrated here today for your outstanding accomplishments, and to formally start our program, I'd like you to know that we do have our program booklet, which you can look at virtually, and it's on our website. For those of you who are in Zoom, we'll drop that link into the chat. For those of you here, we'll make sure that you get that link as you go out, so you have access to that amazing program. And for those of you, who are interested within the booklet, it includes our lovely graduate pictures, some information about each of them, and then messages of thanks to those who've helped them along their journey to get to this point, the time to walk across the stage, graduation. And also, I want to acknowledge as we move forward too, that there's many other senior leadership on campus who often support the work that we do here in the office, as well as across campus. And so some of those are our Vice Chancellor. So Dr. Morris Taylor, Vice Chancellor of Administration, Dr. Jeffrey Waple, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Dr. Denise Cobb, our Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Jessica Harris, our Vice Chancellor for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, and Rachel Stack, our CEO of the SIUE Foundation and Vice Chancellor for University Advancement. Additionally, many of our deans of the colleges also regularly attend, so I want to say thank you to those who are here today, who might be on our Zoom call, as well as those who've been to other events. One last thing before we get started. I want to add a few additional notes because today's celebration is called the Latinx celebration, and sometimes we get questions about why that is. So there's plenty of other names that could be referenced, right? Latina, Hispanic, all of those. In the hub where we are sponsoring the event, we choose Latinx because it tends to be a gender inclusive alternative to Latino and Latina. It is tending to be used by scholars, activists, and an increasing number of college campuses. It's gaining common use among the general public, but also sometimes still contested. Now it does move beyond gender binaries, and the point is to be inclusive of intersecting identities of those who identify as Latin American descendants. In addition to all racial backgrounds, Latinx also makes room for people who might be trans, queer, non-binary, gender non-conforming, or gender fluid. Now, this is not to say that there aren't people who identify as Hispanic, specifically Latino, specifically Latina, or even as Mexican or Guatemalan or from your nationalities. So we want to say we see that and we acknowledge it. The big reason we use Latinx is because of the academic space and wanting to use a term that can be as inclusive as possible. We also know that it can be contested also sometimes because Hispanic is a term that's often given by those who colonized homelands. And so while that complicates it, we just want to make sure that we acknowledge that there's a lot of different ways that people can reference their identities. We want to see and say that we know those are out there and that we want to acknowledge that. On top of the idea that some people are also Spanish speakers, and that influences how they identify as well. So just to say, the Hub uses Latinx because of its aim to move into the awareness of intersectional identities. And again, we want to acknowledge how you may identify, as that may be geographical, language, nationality-based, among the many other reasons. And we know that's probably deeply personal to you. I want you to know we've considered these many identities, and we strive for that level of awareness and critical thinking. So now you know, if questions get asked why we celebrate Latinx graduation celebration. In addition to information about the name, I also wanted to take a moment just to provide a little history about the actual commencement ceremony itself. The first known ceremony like this took place actually in 1969 at San Jose University. The previous year to that commencement, there was a protest by the Hispanic community. My apologies, that was to get started. Hispanic community to bring attention to the underrepresentation of Hispanic students and others in all of higher education. And at that time, there was strong concern about the apparent lack of interest and concern for the educational needs by colleges and universities and by the government for that specific identity group. The following year after the protest, about 25 graduating students at San Jose State University announced that they would actually hold a separate ceremony, which they labeled Chicano Commencement, to bring attention to what they saw as that continued unfortunate lack of commitment by universities to meet the educational needs of the growing Chicano community. In the years to follow, students at many colleges and universities across the country began to hold similar types of events. And in May of 2018, SIUE was added to that list of having a ceremony such as that. So we're very thrilled to host special graduation events like this one for our students to be recognized and to celebrate the achievements of not only the students, but also their families and friends and mentors who supported them on this journey. So now, without further ado, let's begin our celebration with welcome remarks from our SIU System President, Dr. Dan Mahoney. President Mahoney started as the SIU System President in March of 2020 and has done much in his time so far to ensure our campus makes forward progress on being an anti-racist, diverse, equitable, and inclusive one. He continues to encourage the SIU system and SIU campus to critically reflect on what we are doing to ensure historically marginalized students are supported to this exact moment. He has also ensured he maintains a solid presence at our programs and activities sponsored by this office. And with that, he can only join us virtually because he actually lives a distance away. But with that, I'd like to invite him to share some words with us via Zoom. President Mahoney.
Yeah, thank you, Lindy. And first of all, I want to say welcome to everybody to the 8th annual Latinx graduation ceremony. I first want to thank the faculty.
I cannot hear you. I am so sorry. 1 second.
All right.
It might be on our end. Well, try one more time.
Can you hear me now?
No, that is strange. One moment. Sorry. Apologies. Oh, so people in the Zoom can hear you, but we cannot hear you in here. I'm sure it's another technical difficulty. So give us one moment. What was it? Say All right, President Mahoney, if you give us one more try, go ahead.
All right, can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, but not very loud. Hold on, let me see if I can make that happen better.
I can yell my speech if that helps.
Oh, yes, that would be great. All right, go for it. Let's see if we can make this happen. Go for it.
All right, so first of all, I wanted to welcome you all to the 8th annual Latinx graduation ceremony at SIUE. I first wanted to thank the faculty and the staff who are there today, not just for being there and supporting the students today, but really all the support that you provided the students throughout the years. So we appreciate everything that you do as faculty and staff. But most of all, on behalf of the SIU system and the Board of Trustees, I want to congratulate the graduates. Graduating from college is a significant accomplishment, and obviously you've done it in a strange time and a more challenging time. So you should be proud of your accomplishments, and I hope you get a chance to truly celebrate what you've achieved to get to this point. I also want to thank you for choosing SIUE to attend college, to be part of our community, and for all that you've done to contribute to making SIUE a better place as students. And I hope as alumni, you will continue to stay involved in SIUE going forward. We've made a very public commitment to be an anti-racist institution. And one of the things we talked about just last week at an event was we cannot do that without the support of our students and our alumni and everybody to be engaged in that process. So we hope you'll continue to stay engaged with us as you go forward in your lives, and hope you continue to have great success just as you have as students at SIUE. So again, wanted to congratulate you. Thank you for being here today, and thanks for all that you've done for SIUE. And we hope to see you at graduation in just a couple weeks. So have a great evening.
Thank you so much, President Mahoney, much appreciated. Next, we will have opening remarks from our chancellor, who also had to do a video because he was unable to be here in person. Chancellor Pembroke began as chancellor in August of 2016 and will actually be retiring this coming spring. So this will be his last message at one of the graduation celebrations this week, are these ones. And not only has he served our institution well, but he is an SIUE alum, as you all soon will be as well. And again, since this is a busy week, he did have to record his message for each of us, but we do appreciate him taking the time to do that for us. And we continue to appreciate his support and his leadership. And with that, we'll share his video remarks with you. Yep. And the volume again. Boy, this volume's gonna kill us, isn't it, friends? Okay, 1 second. We're going to do a quick improvise here. One moment, team. I have it up here just in case. I don't know why, I just had a feeling that it might happen. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to our 8th Latinx graduation celebration. Today's celebration is not a replacement for graduation, but another chance to acknowledge your hard work and to celebrate the diversity found at SIUE. We hope that SIUE has been a place for you to not only excel in your academic achievements, but also to feel supported while at the university, allowing you the freedom to consider new ideas, to meet new people, and to expand your perceptions, both locally and globally. To further explore your heritage and to celebrate it. To define and refine the sense of self and of what brings you happiness. And a place that has had a significant and positive influence on your life. These past 20 months have presented us all with many challenges. We faced a pandemic like nothing any of us have ever had to deal with before. You had to meet many new challenges while continuing your education. Face masks, social distancing, more classes online, and many virtual celebrations rather than in-person occasions. We hope you have faced these challenges and hope that they have given you additional abilities to add to your skill set. abilities such as expertise in online meetings and classes, the ability to show that your work in education can continue despite many challenges, the ability to pivot and change when a plan can't be realized as originally conceived, renewed or enhanced resilience, and new ways to connect and stay connected with people. The sacrifices you have made have not gone unnoticed. We have also seen unrest in our country and our communities. SIUE is committed to making our campus a more welcoming, safe, and just environment for all of our students, staff, and faculty, as well as our community. We have committed to work intensely on diversity and inclusion at all levels. Please know that we are proud of your success and that SIUE was a better place because you were here. Think of all of the people and programs you encountered. You've left your mark on your classmates and friends, the faculty and staff within your program of study, and on the university's reputation. Enjoy this moment. Stop and smell the roses. Your time here at SIUE will stay with you forever, but I'm confident that as SIUE alumni, you have many more and greater accomplishments in your future. And don't forget to come back to see us. Congratulations, and thank you for choosing SIUE. We celebrate you.
Again, we thank the Chancellor of being supportive for events like this and taking the time to record the remarks. At this time, we're going to hear from someone very special for an inspiring and thoughtful message about graduation. What makes this particularly exciting today is this message is coming from one of you. This student has consistently worked to collaborate not only on programming with the Hub, but has also served as president of the Hispanic Student Union. I have personally enjoyed very much working alongside her, and I know she has made an impact on many students, faculty, and staff, really everyone she's encountered, let's be real, on her journey to graduation. So at this time, I'm quite honored to invite to the stage Ms. Marisol Corral for our graduation message.
Thank you so much, Lindy. Hey, my name is Marisol Corral, and I am honored to be able to speak today. I am the current president of Hispanic Student Union and also a member of Alpha Psi Lambda National Incorporated. 2.5 years ago, my hermana and the one who led my line spoke at this ceremony. Cateria Diaz was the one who truly taught me what it meant to be a strong Latina, and I will forever be grateful for her. Time has flown as we are closer to graduation. If you would have asked me 4 years ago, where would I see myself? I wouldn't have known what to say. When I first transferred here, I basically knew no one. It was certainly different than where I come from. I couldn't walk around the corner to get tortillas or Valentina for my papitas, no elotera to get elotes or raspados. But it can be easy to feel like you don't belong. It was when I first went to the Meet the Greeks, when someone came up to me and asked, ¿Hablas español? I was shook, okay. That person, Frank, is now my pledge dad. Ronnie, who's also graduating this semester, was the one who introduced me to HSU. And there I was able to meet even more of the Hispanic Latinx community. Being both a part of ASI and HSU has been a great experience, and I loved being able to bring a cultural experience on campus. Once, my hermana, Jess, and I drove 3 hours to Kat's mom's house to pick up trays of pollo guisado, arroz con gandules, and horchata for a fundraiser. So we're making sure y'all had the real deal, okay? So then I also had the honor of being part of different panels, such as Torn Between Tongues and PWI, the Latina Experience. With Torn Between Tongues, it was asked, what does it mean to be Latinx? Is it important to speak Spanish? I have had times where I questioned my own identity, asking if I knew Spanish enough or if I was Latina enough. One day, when I was working in the deli, I was called to the pharmacy to help translate for a customer. Medical terms were really something I learned, but somehow I was able to help. When I was younger, I was scared to go up to the register and order food. As my padre has broken English, I make sure to order now to take off that pressure for him. It's the little things of being able to give directions and making that doctor's appointment that I feel are like a win. Whether you speak a little Spanish, it doesn't make you any less. Imposter syndrome was a term that I hadn't heard of until I came to college. We should not undermine our accomplishments. We have earned our spots here. My heroes are mi papá y mi mamá. So my padre, he came from a poor family and dropped out of school at 14. He came to the US when he was only 16 years old, not knowing how to speak English. He mentioned how his travels included him being in the trunk of a car with 2 other men. He has always worked so hard to provide for his family, not only here, but back in Mexico. My mom told me how when she was a kid, she was on the bus ride here to the US, and my abuelita told her and her siblings to act asleep so no one would question them. Both of my parents ensured that we had opportunities to accomplish things that they couldn't. Whenever I returned to SIUE for the school year, my parents always reminded me to work hard. Échale ganas. Students, embrace where you and your family come from. When you're in your careers, take pride in who you are and what you bring to the table. Celebrate what makes you different and unique. Continue to pave the way for others that come after you. When all odds have been stacked against you, you have proven that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. Thank you to Lindy, the Hub, CAP, and SIUE for providing events for our community, such as those for Hispanic, Latinx Heritage Month, and also the Taste of Culture. A big thank you to my parents for all the sacrifices that you've made. Los amo muchísimo. To my brother and sister, making sure I was always all right and helping me when I needed it. Thank you to Tamara for being with me almost every day in the library and making sure I had Valentina for my papitas. Thank you to the familia, mis hermanos y mi hermanas that I have made here on campus. Those that really made it feel like a home away from home. To the class of Fall 21, I am very proud of each and every one of you. You deserve to be here. This is the beginning of a new chapter, and make sure you put a little bit of who you are in everything you do. And no matter where life takes you, remember que sí se puede. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but I loved hearing from her. Thank you again so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Again, I'm honored, I want to say also, to have collaborated with you deeply. It's been a pleasure, and I'm super happy you're graduating, but also so sad you're leaving. So maybe one more round of applause, because really that was just excellent. And now at this time, we're very excited to recognize each graduate individually. Momentarily, we're going to ask our graduates to stand and proceed to the podium, aka microphone, off to my left, your right. And you'll receive your certificate and then also your stole up here if you stay up here and join us on the stage after you have your stole. And then we'll take a picture up here, and then later, of course, you're welcome to take many pictures afterwards. Guests, as we read the names of the graduates and they cross the stage, will also be sharing a PowerPoint with each graduate's names, especially because there's a couple people who couldn't join us in person, but we still want to celebrate them as well. Those of you who are joining us via Zoom, we ask that you do remain on mute until all the graduates have been shared, only because we're not sure how that will affect our text since we know it's already been tricky. So if you could wait till the end, and then we'll ask everyone to unmute so that everyone in the in-person space and everyone in the Zoom space can all celebrate you all. Okay, and then also once we, yes, thank you. And then also once we've completed that, we'll have a few more words from some other people before we head over for our reception. So at this time, graduates, if you would stand. And if you would share your card.
Amara Adriana Avila,
Feel free to cry.
receiving a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering and a minor in Spanish.
I would, yeah. Can I put this on?
I had those.
Oh, yeah, stand aside. We're gonna post. Okay.
And yeah, and last chance, only if you want. Take a roll call.
So, okay, you want, yeah, you should, I should.
All right, lovely, here we go. Thank you.
Next we have Mauricio Ian Bentacore, receiving a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a specialization in international business and a minor in Spanish.
Here we go.
Next, we have Marisol Angelica Corral, receiving a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a specialization in marketing.
Here we go. Thank you.
Next, we have Aaron Ortiz, receiving a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering with a minor in Mathematics and Statistics.
Here we go.
We have Anna Karen Vitel Garcia, receiving a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering and a minor in Mathematics.
Come on, folks.
Yeah. Photo op.
Here we go. Thank you.
We also have two graduates that could not join us today, and we want to just recognize them really quickly, and we will make sure that they also receive their certificate as well as their SOLs. And so, Lindy, if you want to begin.
Yep, we have Ronnie Reyes Sanchez. I don't have words, but sorry, yeah. And Carlos Alejandro Dajmara. Okay, so we're going to try this. Zoom participants, feel free to unmute if you'd like. Those in person, if you'd like. We're going to do all sorts of cheering and whooping, all that you would like. And we'd ask our graduates to stand together, if you wouldn't mind, for not only pictures, but while we cheer. So congratulations, graduates.
Oh, Marisol, Guatemala.
And now, if you'd like to get back down, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, it's a 5 second. Okay. So again, thank you all for your participation. And again, those of you in your Zoom, if you can make sure your mute's mic'd, if you unmuted for that lovely cheer. And with that, I want to say, graduates, as you go out into the world and make your mark, I want you to remember that you're a proud SIU Cougar and that you've left a legacy here on campus and in the hearts of those who you've encountered while a student here. And now to remind you a little bit about how you are always a Cougar, we have James Mclendon, who is a SIU Alumni Association representative and a graduate, 12 and 16. I'm here to share a few thoughts with you about being an alumni. James, if you would join us here on stage.
I think it was already open document, right?
Yeah.
I can just.
Yeah, you should just be able to say it.
Some people not muted,
That could be.
just like we thought.
Just sign off.
Thank you, Lindy. I'm James Mclendon. I serve on our SIUE Alumni Association on our board of directors. I also take part in our engagement committee as part of that organization. I'm very excited to introduce you all and welcome you all to a new SIUE family of over 115,000 alumni who are here to provide services, support, whatever you may need as you go into your journey after graduation. It's been said multiple times, obviously, it has been a difficult couple of years with this pandemic. So I'm not going to reiterate how much of an accomplishment this is, but want to let you all know that y'all rock that. Don't let people take that from you, especially as you move forward in your careers and in your paths. I'd also like to thank all of the folks, either on Zoom or just in general, who have contributed to our senior campaign. Those interested in the room who are interested in that senior campaign, this allows you an opportunity to another avenue to leave an imprint on this university. Any contributions you would make as a part of the senior campaign will provide an opportunity for a future SIUE student to have a scholarship opportunity here. There's still time for you to join that senior campaign if you've not done so. So after this event, we have an alumni table out in the back there. On your way out, you can get some more information about that and also receive your cord. Upon graduation, you are an automatic member of the SIUE Alumni Association. There is a plethora of resources and support that we provide to you at no cost. You'll have free access to alumni discounts nationwide, webinars for continued learning through our Alumni Learning Consortium. You'll be able to connect with us at our events and our programs that we host throughout the year. Please plan to make a trip back to campus for our most attended alumni event, which would be the homecoming event and all of the pieces that come with that. And that will be homecoming 2022, September 18th to the 24th of next year. You can also stay connected with us through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We are also trying to expand our reach by opening other alumni chapters throughout the country. So we have a Chicago chapter alumni association for those up north that has been established and building up currently. We also have a St. Louis Young Professionals alumni network that we are building up as well. And we also have a Springfield, Illinois alumni chapter, as we have large numbers of alumni in all of those areas. These chapters and networks can be created based off of any interest point, any identity, anything you would like it to be. And so our organization is always open to folks who would like to have others of those interests and those like-minded areas to get together. So please reach out to us and be able to do that. If you have any more interest in that, you can reach out to us at siuealumni@siue.edu. Finally, we want you all to stay connected with each other and this institution, no matter where your next chapter takes you. So we are very honored and proud to be in the same company and call you fellow alumni, and congratulations, and here's to you, class of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you so much, James. Okay, and in one last moment, I do want to say a special thank you to our planning team. I mentioned them earlier. Thank you again for all the work you put in. And additionally, as we've mentioned earlier, graduates were able to submit messages of thanks to their faculty, staff, mentors, friends, and all those who've been instrumental to their success here. We often know that it takes the love and care of all those around each student to encourage them to complete the degree and make it to graduation. So the messages that you graduates shared to those who are members of your care team are included in the program booklet mentioned earlier in the program. However, we also want to take a moment to honor those of you who might be here today who've supported those students. So those in person and those in Zoom, feel free to unmute if you'd like, and turn your cameras on if you'd like. And everyone here in person, let's join in a celebratory moment for all the individuals who have helped support our graduates to this point and who have contributed to their success. So please join me now in one round of celebration of all those. Excellent. And at this time, we'll have some closing remarks From our SIU system, our Vice President for Anti-Racism, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, Dr. Sheila Caldwell. Dr. Caldwell joined the system in July of this year and has already begun the challenging, difficult, but exciting work of bringing our campuses together in our anti-racism and diversity, equity, inclusion efforts. She was unable to join us in person, but she has joined us here virtually in the Zoom. I see her smiling face there. And so I'm going to pass the mic to her. So Dr. Caldwell, your closing remarks.
Thank you, Ms. Wagner. I just want to take the opportunity to congratulate each of you, along with your family, friends, and all who supported you during this unprecedented time. I hope you feel seen and celebrated by your loved ones. Your outstanding achievements and contributions to Southern Illinois University, specifically the Edwardsville campus, has been no small feat. Whether you identify as Latina, Latino, Latinx, or Hispanic, you have made our campus community more meaningful, intelligent, and vibrant. You are trailblazers and models of success for future generations. You have weathered a pandemic and persevered to this day. As you go forth, we know that you will challenge and change the world for the better. Thank you for entrusting SIUE with your educational journey. We hope you look back on your journey with fondness, knowing that we take great pride in each of you and the stories that brought you here. So Felicidades, graduates and fellow alumni. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Caldwell, for your remarks. We appreciate it greatly. And again, thank you one more time for all those who have joined us here today at this Latinx graduation celebration. And thank you again once more for our leadership, our senior leadership who's attending both in person and virtually, for our speakers who have offered great insight and inspiration for our students. And most of all, thank you students for participating today and for dedicating yourself to your education so you could be here at this finish line. Most importantly, thank you for all you've done here at the institution, for the impact that you've made, and hopefully for all the relationships you've built and the sustaining ones that will keep you going long past your time here. We're very excited for your bright futures. And as for everyone else, as you exit, please feel free to take pictures, whatever you'd like. We have a lovely photographer here. Before you leave, graduates, if you could come here for a couple more pictures, that would be great. And then also for everyone here who's in attendance, we do have a reception set up just to my right, your left as you exit. Please join us for refreshments. There's food and drinks, non-alcoholic, and can't do that. And we'd love to be able to talk with you more there. So one last final congratulations on your success, students. Go into the world, be yourself, be great. And thank you everyone for joining us this evening.